There is a hesitancy today in too many pulpits to preach about the wrath of God. We have to understand something about the wrath of God. The wrath of God is the bad news. But here's the truth. If you don't know the bad news, you can't fathom or understand the good news. You can't understand that when Christ came to save us, He did not only save us from sin and from death and from hell and from self. Ultimately, what Jesus saved us from was God. How can we say that? Because the wrath of God, in response to our sin, does not indicate an uncontrolled rage. What it indicates is an absolute holiness. God is so holy. You cannot be more holy. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord God of hosts. And we are born in sin and unholiness, under the weight and the burden of that judgment. Paul says in Ephesians, by nature, children of wrath. Understand, our nation is under the judgment of God. The things that we see happening and running rampant in our society, these are not the things for which God is judging us. Those things running rampant are the judgment of God as He turns our nation over to what it wants. To murder of the unborn, to the abuse and injustice toward the needy and toward the poor. All of these things are simply signs of the judgment of God. It tells us that if it's left up to us to bear the wrath of God, we will never satisfy justice. We will never be able to pay for the debt of our sin. He is so holy, and we are so sinful. How magnificent is it then that when Jesus paid for it on the cross, He said, it's finished. He took an eternal debt and He paid it in full for each of us. This was the wrath that He bore on the cross. The good news, as Charles Spurgeon put it, was that God looked at Jesus and treated Him as if He were us. And He looked at us and treated us as if we were Him. There's the grace. There are those in danger of judgment. There are those ready to fall into judgment. Spurgeon again phrased it this way: if sinners are going to be damned in hell, may they jump over us to get there, because we're in the fields preaching the gospel and warning them to flee the wrath to come. And there is only one way to flee from that wrath. It is to flee to the arms of Jesus.